When you think of Jodie Foster, names like brilliance, talent, and sophistication come to mind. Yet beyond the acclaim, the awards, and the cinematic triumphs, there lies a story that few truly know. A story filled with resilience, quiet strength, and a childhood that demanded courage far beyond her years. Born Alicia Christian Foster in Los Angeles, Jodie was a prodigy from the very start. Her intelligence, drive, and determination would shape a life that blurred the lines between childhood and professional responsibility. From early fame to personal loss, triumphs to private joys, her journey reflects not just the making of an extraordinary actress, but the endurance of a human spirit navigating love, grief, and the relentless demands of a world that watched her grow up before her time. Early life and childhood brilliance. Jodie Foster, a name synonymous with cinematic excellence, carries with it a life story as intricate and compelling as the roles she's played. Born on November 19, 1962 in Los Angeles, she was the youngest of 4 children in a family that was marked by love and, unfortunately, the absence of a father. Lucius Foster, a decorated Air Force colonel and later a real estate broker, left before Jodie was born, leaving her mother, Evelyn Brandy Foster, to raise the family alone. Though money was always tight, Evelyn Foster's determination to ensure her children grew up with a foundation of intellect, courage, and resilience profoundly influenced Jodie's early years. From the time she was a toddler, Jodie displayed an extraordinary level of intelligence. She was speaking in full sentences by 9 months, reading by 3, and by the time she was 4, she was devouring books well beyond her age. Teachers, family, and friends marveled at her abilities. But with this brilliance came an unspoken price. Her childhood quickly became consumed by auditions, rehearsals, and the demanding world of entertainment that saw her not just as a child, but as a professional. At the age of 3, Jodie was discovered by a talent scout and cast in a Coppertone commercial, with her image alongside a playful puppy becoming iconic. In the following 18 months, she appeared in nearly 30 commercials, earning more than her mother by the time she was 4. A trust fund was set up to manage her earnings, and her playgrounds were replaced by film sets, with childhood giving way to responsibility at a very young age. By 5, she secured a recurring role on Mayberry RFD, and by the time she was 13, Jodie had appeared in over 50 TV shows. She was astoundingly professional for someone so young, and it became clear that she was no ordinary child star. But even as she gained recognition and accolades, there was an underlying toll. Jodie herself would later reflect, "I was always the adult in the room, even when I was just a little girl," recognizing the weight of expectations placed on her at such a tender age. The price of genius. Jodie's early years were a blur of television appearances, commercials, and film sets, yet with each accomplishment came pressure and the expectation to deliver, a price that many child stars pay. In 1972, at the age of 10, Jodie was cast in Napoleon and Samantha, a film that tested her courage in an unexpected way. In one scene, she was asked to work with a trained lion. What was meant to be a magical moment quickly turned terrifying when the animal moved unpredictably, causing her to sustain an injury. Though the physical wounds healed, the emotional scars remained, haunting her for years to come. Just 3 days later, wrapped in bandages, Jodie returned to the set to finish the film. Hollywood praised her professionalism, but beneath that accolade was a child who had to summon the kind of courage that most adults would struggle to muster. Just 1 year later, during the filming of Tom Sawyer, Jodie broke her wrist performing a stunt. Again, she returned to the set, masking her pain behind a determined smile. These early experiences of being thrust into adult situations, all the while still a child, revealed the harsh realities of child stardom. In Hollywood, performance often took precedence over protection, and resilience was demanded as a matter of course. These formative years would lay the foundation for Jodie's understanding of sacrifice, professionalism, and the personal toll fame could exact. Taxi Driver and the Shadows of Hollywood. In 1976, Jodie Foster took on a role that would forever solidify her place in cinematic history, but also deepen the emotional challenges she would face. Cast as Iris in Martin Scorsese's Taxi Driver, Jodie was thrust into a world of darkness and vulnerability. The preparation for the role was rigorous, including psychological evaluations and labor safeguards, with her older sister acting as a body double for some of the more sensitive scenes. Despite the care taken to protect her, the emotional toll was undeniable. Jodie would later admit to struggling with the wardrobe and the exposure demanded by the role, often holding back tears. But in true Jodie Foster fashion, she delivered a performance that earned her an Academy Award nomination. Though the film's acclaim was monumental, it came with its own shadows. The recognition she received for her work in Taxi Driver was inseparable from the personal cost she had to pay. The rigorous demands of her profession had forced her to grow up far faster than most children, and this was a recurring theme in her career. By the time she starred in lighter fare like Freaky Friday, or more mature roles such as The Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane, childhood was already a distant memory. Adolescence became a period of professional growth, but it was also marked by the loss of innocence, replaced by the ever-present need for preparation and maturity. International work and formative experiences. By the late 1970s, Jodie's career had begun to expand internationally. She worked in French and Italian films, learning new languages and performing songs for foreign audiences. She portrayed complex characters, such as orphans and con artists, that took her far from the comfort of home. These experiences, though intellectually enriching, were also isolating. Jodie found herself not just navigating foreign cultures and languages, but also trying to maintain a sense of normalcy while fulfilling her role as a child actress. These years abroad added layers to her resilience, amplifying her sense of childhood lost, but they also showcased the extraordinary potential she had to adapt and thrive in different environments. Yale University and the Hinckley Incident. The 1980s, a decade when many young stars would revel in their success, would bring both personal and professional challenges for Jodie. In 1981, while attending Yale University, her life was upended by a tragedy. John Hinckley Jr., obsessed with Jodie's role in Taxi Driver, attempted to assassinate President Ronald Reagan in a misguided effort to impress her. Overnight, Jodie became the center of a national obsession, and her privacy was shattered. Federal agents were stationed around her dorm, reinforced glass was installed in her windows, and a direct line to the FBI became part of her everyday routine. Despite the terrifying circumstances, Jodie persevered, continuing her studies. She later admitted that she had almost abandoned her education multiple times under the weight of this constant surveillance, but she stayed the course, graduating magna cum laude in 1985 with a thesis on Toni Morrison, a testament to her commitment to intellectual rigor and personal growth. Though the intrusion into her life was deeply unsettling, it never diminished her resolve to complete her education and to remain grounded amidst the fame and danger that surrounded her. Career resurgence and professional triumphs. Despite her academic success, Jodie's professional journey was far from smooth. Casting directors considered her a commercial risk, films she starred in were shelved, and she faced repeated rejections. Yet, Jodie's determination never wavered. In 1988, she experienced a major career breakthrough with The Accused, where she portrayed Sarah Tobias, a character defined by imperfection and raw resilience. Drawing from her own life experiences, Jodie channeled personal pain into an incredibly powerful performance that captivated audiences. Her portrayal earned her the first of 2 Academy Awards, recognizing not just her acting talent, but the immense resilience that had shaped her journey. 2 years later, Jodie would once again redefine herself with the role of Clarice Starling in The Silence of the Lambs. This performance, one of the most iconic in cinematic history, earned her a 2nd Academy Award. To prepare for the role, Jodie worked closely with the FBI, undergoing physical training and studying the psychology of criminal investigation. This commitment to excellence, combined with her emotional depth and strength, ensured that her portrayal of Clarice would remain etched in film history. But as always, these monumental professional achievements were accompanied by the personal cost of carrying trauma and vulnerability into her work. Personal life and private joys. Away from the public eye, Jodie Foster built a life that prioritized privacy, love, and family. In 1993, she met Sydney Bernard, a production coordinator whose quiet strength offered her stability and comfort. Together, they raised 2 sons, Charlie and Kit, keeping their family life shielded from the prying eyes of the media. Jodie's devotion to her family was fierce, and she took extraordinary steps to protect their privacy, going so far as to pay schools to deter paparazzi and using pseudonyms for hospital visits. Jodie ensured that her children had the kind of childhood she never had, one that was free from the constant spotlight of Hollywood. Though her relationship with Sydney eventually ended, they remained deeply connected through their shared love for their children. Despite the end of their romantic relationship, their shared commitment to family and mutual respect endured. Coming out and new beginnings. In 2013, Jodie Foster took a significant step in her personal life when she spoke publicly about her sexuality during her acceptance speech at the Golden Globe Awards. With quiet grace, she acknowledged a truth that had long been held privately, not for the sake of spectacle, but to honor her lifelong commitment to authenticity and privacy. The following year, Jodie married Alexandra Hedison, an accomplished photographer, and together they began a new chapter in their lives. With Alexandra, Jodie discovered a renewed sense of freedom, the ability to live openly and tenderly without the constant pressure of public scrutiny. Their home became a sanctuary, filled with love, art, and creativity, allowing Jodie to continue to balance her career with her personal life. Loss, grief, and enduring strength. Despite her personal happiness, life continued to present Jodie with challenges. In 2016, she faced the death of her father, which forced her to reflect on the complex nature of absence and the unresolved relationships that often shape our lives. 3 years later, she lost her mother after a long battle with dementia. Brandy Foster had been the cornerstone of Jodie's life, guiding her through every storm, and her passing left a profound void. Yet Jodie carried forward the lessons of love, courage, and resilience that her mother had imparted. Current life and legacy. At 62, Jodie Foster continues to live her life with intentionality, grace, and a sense of peace. She divides her time between Los Angeles, New York, and Europe, choosing projects that challenge her creatively, while also allowing her the space to prioritize family and personal fulfillment. Her home with Alexandra is a peaceful haven, a sanctuary where family and creativity take precedence over the demands of celebrity. Jodie's sons, Charlie and Kit, have grown up under her careful guidance, shielded from the intense glare of public attention. Professionally, Jodie remains discerning, taking on roles that challenge her as an artist while maintaining a careful balance between her career and her personal life. She embraces the passage of time with dignity, allowing her experiences to shape the work she does while keeping her private life her own. Philanthropy and quiet influence. Beyond her acting career, Jodie has quietly contributed to causes close to her heart, including children's health, cancer research, LGBTQ+ rights, and supporting emerging artists. Her philanthropy is not about public recognition, but about making a meaningful impact on the causes she believes in. Jodie's legacy extends far beyond her film career, defined by her resilience, compassion, and commitment to living authentically. Reflections on a life well lived. Jodie Foster's story is one of resilience, courage, and integrity. It is a story that reflects the human spirit's capacity to endure, to find love, and to grow stronger in the face of adversity. Her life, marked by professional triumphs, personal joys, and the quiet challenges of navigating fame, stands as a testament to the strength of spirit, the power of love, and the quiet dignity of a life lived with purpose and authenticity. Her greatest role has never been on screen. It has been her life itself, a life that continues to inspire and remind us all of the power of resilience, love, and grace.